Sunny Hostin, the sharp-witted co-host of The View whose legal acumen and unfiltered commentary have made her a daytime television staple, recently peeled back the layers of her public persona to reveal a more vulnerable side. In a deeply personal panel discussion centered on midlife reinvention and renewal, Hostin shared a conversation with her 19-year-old daughter, Paloma, that cut straight to the core of her identity as a mother. The words exchanged were raw and revelatory, exposing the painful gap between intention and perception in parenting. Being totally candid, my daughter told me a couple months ago, "You weren't always the best mother," Hostin recounted, her voice carrying the weight of that unexpected indictment. It's a moment that resonates with any parent who's ever questioned their balance of ambition and availability, a stark reminder that love, no matter how fierce, doesn't always translate into the presence our children crave. Hostin's narrative unfolds against the backdrop of a high-octane career that demands her energy on multiple fronts. As a former federal prosecutor turned Emmy-winning journalist, she's built a legacy of advocacy and insight, from dissecting political scandals to championing civil rights. Yet, beneath the polished suits and poised delivery lies a woman navigating the eternal juggle of professional triumphs and familial bonds. She and her husband Emmanuel Hostin, a respected physician, have raised 2 children. Paloma, now a college freshman, and son Gabriel, who's always been her steadfast admirer. And it was interesting because I never missed a dance performance. I never missed a basketball game. I never missed a track meet. I never missed a piano performance, Hostin emphasized, cataloging her dedication with the precision of someone accustomed to building airtight cases. To her, these milestones were badges of commitment, proof that she was showing up in the ways that mattered most. But Paloma's perspective shattered that self-assurance. I asked, why? And she said, because you weren't always there, Hostin continued. The critique wasn't about absenteeism at events, it was about the subtler absences, the evenings spent at speaking engagements, the weekends lost to book tours, the emotional bandwidth diverted by deadlines. In Paloma's eyes, true showing up meant being woven into the fabric of daily life at home, not just cheering from the sidelines of extracurriculars. This revelation hit Hostin like a gut punch, forcing a reckoning with how her version of motherhood clashed with her daughter's lived experience. It's a universal theme in modern parenting, especially for working mothers in demanding fields, where success often comes at the cost of unhurried, unstructured time. Hostin didn't shy away from the sting, that's very painful. Yet, in that pain lies growth. She committed to receiving it without defensiveness, to listening as an act of love. The conversation gained even more poignancy when tied to a specific heartbreak in Paloma's life. Hostin recalled the devastation of her daughter's first breakup, a rite of passage that should have been met with maternal comfort. But work had pulled her away, leaving Paloma to navigate the tears alone. And to her, that meant I wasn't a great mom all the time, Hostin reflected. This anecdote humanizes the abstract. It's not grand gestures but the quiet consolations, the late-night talks, the simple act of being present in sorrow that forges unbreakable bonds. Hostin's son, Gabriel, offers a counterpoint of affirmation. My son thinks I'm amazing. This contrast highlights the individualized nature of family dynamics, how siblings can perceive the same parent through entirely different lenses, shaped by temperament and timing. Hostin's journey into empty nester territory amplifies these themes. Just a year prior, she had tearfully dropped Paloma off at college, stepping into a phase of life marked by both liberation and loss. I got to drop off my daughter at college and become an empty nester. And I'm a mess, I'm in grief, she confessed on The View, her usual composure cracking under the weight of emotion. The transition was messy, filled with unsolicited advice from friends like Kelly Ripa, and an almost comical overcompensation in her attempts to stay connected. I will say this. I am stalking my daughter now, she joked. I call her every day, I text her every day, and she finally said to me this morning, stop. It's a humorous vignette that belies deeper anxieties, the fear of fading relevance, the scramble to reclaim a bond stretched thin by circumstance. Her husband's reaction added another layer of levity to the melancholy. I will say, my husband is ecstatic, he thinks he can walk around the house naked now. He's like, I've got my wife back, let's do date night. And I am sad, Hostin shared with a wry smile. Emmanuel's enthusiasm underscores the relational ripple effects of parenting shifts, how one person's grief can be another's renaissance. For Hostin, this midlife pivot isn't just logistical, it's philosophical. The panel she participated in, alongside authors Tembai Locke and Alison Gilbert, framed it as an invitation to live fully, to reinvent without apology. Drawing from her own book I Am These Truths, a memoir blending personal essays with cultural critique. Hostin explores how Black women's experiences intersect with these universal struggles. Her story becomes a beacon for others in similar straits, validating the guilt, the joy, the messy in-between. Parenting, as Hostin illuminates, is an imperfect art, measured not in flawless attendance but in willingness to adapt. Paloma's words, though painful, are a gift, a mirror reflecting not failure, but opportunity for deeper connection. As Hostin moves forward, she's embracing this feedback, letting it guide her into a more intentional presence. Whether through daily check-ins, boundaried of course, or reflective writing, she's recommitting to the home front. In a culture that leonizes hustle, her vulnerability challenges us to redefine success, not in accolades or unbroken streaks, but in the tender, often unseen threads that bind us. For Sunny Hostin, motherhood's true test isn't perfection. It's persistence, the courage to hear hard truths and let them reshape us. And in that reshaping she finds renewal, proving that even in midlife, it's never too late to show up anew.